Angels, and forbidden wisdom of the Infernal Dictionary, Demonology 3. Angels and forbidden wisdom of the Infernal Dictionary, Demonology 3. You're listening to Hitman, Hitman, Hakeem, in the morning, afternoon, and night, here on Spreaker, Social Podcasting, and Wisdom, Social Audio Inc., presented for World Reading Club in association with Unequilibrium. This edition's focus is Angels and Forbidden Wisdom of the Infernal Dictionary, Demonology 3, brought to us from the Angel Numbers book, How to Understand the Messages Your Spirit Guides Are Sending You, by Mystic Mahela, and the Demon Tarot, The Forbidden Wisdom of the Infernal Dictionary by Ariana Osborne. All right. Going to be shuffling these cards here and summoning some demons, if you will. Not really. Not what you think. This is the study of the demons, and these are the study of demons specifically from the original illustrations by Louis Breton from Jacques-Augustin Simon Colin de Plancy's Dictionnaire Infernal, the Infernal Dictionary. And this information is presented through Ariana Osborne's Demon Tarot. All right. I'm shuffling these cards, and I saw some in Newport News today, in the Newport News Barnes and Nobles. I saw an Angel Tarot deck, and I was very tempted to get it, but I figured maybe I'll wait. I have so many books and so many things I have to get through that I haven't touched yet that I think that it's probably a good idea to wait. But let's get right away with the annotations, inspiration, and divination of the Demon Tarot and the Angel Numbers book. So, I have just pulled Marchosius. I think I was pronouncing that incorrectly the whole time before. It could be Marchosius or Marchosius. I don't know how to pronounce it, but here we go. Marchosius, once of the angelic order of dominions, is now a Marquis of Hell with 36 military units under his command. He may appear as a wolf with eagle wings and the tail of a snake. So how I'm working this is, when I pull the angel cards, a lot of them supposedly are in command of like some legions or armies of demons. And so I will, to balance things out, refer to those, okay, what is going on here? Aware that there are. All right, stop that. There we go. What I will do is, if they have those legions of demons, like I've seen 26, 36, and other numbers, I will then go to the Angel Numbers book to balance out the angelic and demonic energy, just for fun. It's more entertaining than anything else. So since Marchosius has let's see, it says he has 36 military units under his command. Then I will refer to the Angel Numbers book, Angel number 36, the 36 angelic vibration. But first, let's continue to see what Marchosius, what deeper meaning we can pull from Marchosius here. All right, let's look at the annotation. Marchosius, according to Wyer's Pseudomonarchia Demonium, is one of the marquises of hell, in command of 30 legions of demons. When summoned, Marchosius may appear in the form of a soldier, in which he is skilled in the arts of hand-to-hand combat. His other form, in which he is more likely to answer questions truthfully, is that of a wolf with the wings of an eagle and the tail of a snake. And in this picture here, he's breathing fire as well, it looks like some kind of griffin or dragon. Inspiration. Like the demon Balin, see page 29, Marchosius was once of the heavenly order of dominions, a rank above the order of virtues in the celestial hierarchy. I mean, who comes up with this? There are many fallen angels in Wyer's Pseudomonarchia Demonium, and most seem to have adapted to their underworld positions with grace. But Marchosius is alone in asserting that he will one day return to his previous position in heaven, despite all evidence to the contrary. He will obey commands when summoned, but has no interest in cultivating any areas of expertise, even for the good of others. Instead, Marchosius is simply biding his time, waiting for a day that will likely never come. All right, divination. What does this say here? Beware of false hopes. Knowing something is impossible and striving for it anyway can take energy that could be used for attainable goals. Yes. So again, the divination here is beware of false hopes. Knowing something is impossible and striving for it anyway can take energy that could be used for attainable goals. All right, remember, Marchosius is in command of 36 military units. So we will now go to the Angel Numbers book and look at the vibration for number 36. It says, you are your best asset. It's time to jump into the next chapter with confidence that the skills and knowledge you already possess are going to be enough. Create a list of all the skills you bring to the table in a relationship, job, or new project. Resources. It's number 36. You are your best asset. It's time to jump into the next chapter with confidence that the skills and knowledge you already possess are going to be enough. Create a list of all the skills you bring to the table in a relationship, job, or new project. All right. So we just consulted Mr. Marchosius. All right. Let's shuffle the deck. I put all of them back in there from the last two installments that I did of this. You can check them out here. And I had some long conversations with a couple different people. So when they show up in the deck, if they do again, I may skip them or I may read them once again. We'll see how that goes here. What's up, Noble Ron? We'll see if I read them again. So let's see. I'm going to see if I can do this. I don't know what you call this kind of shuffle here where people take the two, split the deck in half and then fan them out. And then let's see if I can do it here. I got this nifty. Oh, I did it. All right, that works. I got this nifty table here. All right. So what do we have? Boer. Boer. Wow, Boer is really ugly. That's definitely a demon. Boer. All right. Boer is a president of hell. There's a lot of presidents in hell. Boer is a president of hell with 50 military units under his command. Demonographers describe him as either taking the shape of Sagittarius or having the head of a lion and 5 legs. And that's what this one here is the head of a lion and just 5 legs. It's a very strange looking creature. Very, very strange. We're not, it's not like that. It's not like that, Ron. This is the study of them for divination. They have cool little things going on. All right. So now the way this works is, again, since he has 50 military units, I'm also consulting the Angels book to balance out the energies here. Really, a lot of these creatures aren't really demons. They're just simply things that people of the Catholic Christian bent from back in the day called demons. Like even, for example, Shiva, the and the goddess from Hindu mythology is considered a demon simply because they weren't part of the Christian Catholic pantheon. But let's see what the annotation to Boer says. And then the inspiration and the divination. So here it goes. It says, Boer is one of Wire's demons. Now, Wire, hold on. I gotta look up. Well, I'm just gonna go on, continue here. Boer is one of Wire's demons, first mentioned in the Pseudomonarchia Demonium, as a president of hell with 50 legions of demons under his command. Boer is described as quite the naturalist. His list of specialties includes the philosophy of nature and an understanding of plants and their medicinal purposes. And he is said to be able to recommend good familiars to sorcerers. In the later Goetia, Boer is described as taking the form of a centaur with a bow, as his sign is Sagittarius. However, Colin de Plancy described Boer with a much more fanciful form, having the head of a lion and 5 goat legs that point outward like a star, on which he moved like on a rolling wheel. Yeah, that's what it looks like, and it's really gruesome looking. It's weird. All right, inspiration. There's nothing demonic whatsoever about our friend Boer. Yeah, see? See there? There's nothing demonic whatsoever about our friend Boer, no matter which demonologist's text we consult. Instead, Boer's placement in the infernal hierarchy seems to stem from his above-average knowledge of the science of plants and medicine. It is worth remembering when we buy a bottle of aspirin derived from the willow from the grocery store that there was a time when something as simple as a headache medication that we can so easily take for granted would have been seen as an esoteric and nearly dark creation. That's why a lot of the women were considered witches, because they just knew plant medicine. So a lot of stuff that's considered evil is simply because it wasn't understood at the time. Divination. Focus on science, especially medicine and dietary concerns. See? So not so demonic there, is it? Focus on science, especially medicine and dietary concerns. And since our friend Boer here, it says that he is a president with 50 legions of demons under his command. We're going to go to angel number 50 and see what that tells us here for angel number 50 in the angel numbers book. Angel number 50. What do you have to tell us? Look at that. Loving mindset. Prioritize all love. Your angels ask you to make changes in your life to accommodate all forms of love. Self, familial, and romantic love are being channeled to you. Lie in meditation with your hands on your heart chakra. Repeat this mantra. I am love. I am love. I am love. All right. So if Boer is giving us that info, how could that be so bad, right? Boer. Spelled B-U-E-R, by the way. All right. Let's go on to the next one here. I started at just about around 1 o'clock. So it's going to go no more than an hour. Okay, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay, bubble, bubble. toil and trouble. Let's get these cards shuffled here. And who's up next? All right. Well, Lamia, we already saw her yesterday. Brooms doesn't look like this was very well shuffled. But here we go. We have cake granolas. Cake granolas. Or Caacranolas. It's a very interesting spelling. It's Caacranolas. Right. Cacrinolas? Cake granola? Cake granolas? I don't know. That's such a strange way to spell anything. All right. All right, so let's see what it says about good old cake granolas here. Cake granolas, also Galacia labolus or Classia labolus, is a president of hell with 36 military units under his command. According to demonographers, he most often manifests in the form of a winged dog, and that's what we see here. It's a kind of a cute winged dog, too. All right, in the form of a winged dog. All right, we got the number 36 there again. And let's go to Cake Granola's, which is just 2 pages away from Boer here. All right. All right, so Cake Granolas is very interesting here. Hey, Yusuf. For Cake Granolas here, we've got the annotation. Cake Granolas is also known in demonology texts as Glacia Labolas. According to Wire, he is a president of hell who commands 36 legions of demons. Colin Duplancy gives another of his names as Classiolabolus, which seems to tie together his other 2 listed names. Cake Granoles is described by most demonologists as appearing in the form of a winged dog. All right. Hello, Migdalia. If you're just joining, Noble Ron sent me a message earlier and said that he said, sorry, Hakeem, I'd listen, but I'm scared. You know, a lot of people are when they see the word demonology, but really, you know, Catholic priests and others study demonology in order so that they can thwart the demons. But this is really, as you can see, it says angels and forbidden wisdom of the Infernal Dictionary, Demonology 3, because I have 999 angels here by my side to consult and to help neutralize, basically to referee this whole situation here. And this is for entertainment and for education. It's a little bit of history, a little bit of mystical and mythical history. A lot of these creatures here remind you, for example, are simply deities from other religions that are not Christian Catholic that were labeled demons because they're not part of that canon, right? So, for example, Ariana Osborne says this about that. She says, I will argue that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I will also argue that interpretations of who is good or evil are in the inner eye of the believer, be they Prussian, Hindu, Inuit, or hellish. It is some historic value to allow that Colin Duplancy and his contemporaries saw, for instance, the goddess he called Kali, spelled C-A-L-I, as fearsome and terrible. I won't revise history, but I will balance that entry in my book with other, more positive interpretations of Kali. Right? So, there you go. Well, let's continue. Let's see. Cacrinoles. I don't know how to pronounce it really, but it's Caacrinolaas. The inspiration. Cacrinoles was said to know of the past and future, but his interest lay in discovering the secrets of the mind. He could find his way into the deepest thoughts of friends and foes and could use that knowledge to make them love each other or drive them to murder each other. The truth is, that's not all that supernatural a feat. The better we get to know someone, the more we are able to influence that person's actions as well. However, that power need not be used to bring pain to others. Kate Granolos could use the knowledge of men's minds to bring them closer together, and so, of course, can we. Divination. Focus on learning the secrets of others, but beware of using that knowledge to harm others. See, focus on learning the secrets of others, but beware of using that knowledge to harm others. All right, and since it says that he is a president of hell who commands 36 legions of demons, we will revisit angel number 36, which is interesting because yesterday it was all about angel number 26. But we're going to look at angel number 36 and what divination, what inspiration does angel number 36 have to say to us again? 36, resources. You are your best asset. It's time to jump into the next chapter with confidence that the skills and knowledge you already possess are going to be enough. Create a list of all the skills you bring to the table in a relationship, job, or new project. You know, there's something to be said about how these things repeat and things like that over and over again. Maybe it might have to do with me reading these things or whoever's listening and whoever needs to at the time that it comes up. Because, I mean, it's saying you are your best asset. It's time to jump into the next chapter with confidence that the skills and knowledge you already possess are going to be enough. Create a list of all the skills you bring to the table in a relationship, job, or new project. That's very helpful for people who suffer from what they're calling these days imposter syndrome, right? So the skills, talents, and everything you already have, you already possess, they're enough. Know that and use them to your best advantage. All right, we're going to go on to the next here in our study and see who pops up, what creature, what deity pops up that they're calling a demon this time. Let's see. All right, who is being called a demon now? Who is that? And you know what? I've already my way. I've made some. I got some good money today, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those angel tarot cards tomorrow to back at that Newport News or Barnes and Nobles. They're beautiful, and there's another mysterious looking tarot deck that I saw there, and it's just really fun to look at them because I'm pretty sure that on those angel decks it's gonna have like the history and everything of what we know about those different angels. All right, we have Malphas, spelled Malphas. And what does it say about Malphas? It says Malphas is a president of hell who has governance over 40 legions of demons. That means that we get to consult angel number 40. 40 legions of demons. Demonographers write that he may manifest in the appearance of a man or a raven, and that his voice is harsh in either form. A raven or a man. And in this one here, and it's a anthropomorphized raven. It's standing up upright, and it's got like the classical wings that you would see like in depictions of angels. All right, let's see what the annotations, inspiration, and divination for Malthus says here in the companion book by Ariana Osborne here to the cards. Malthus. All right, Malthus is one of Wyer's demons, listed as a president of hell with 40 military units under his command. One of his forms is that of a raven, and even when he manifests in human form, he is unable to hide his harsh, loud voice. Malthus's specialty is that of architecture and engineering. Not only can he assist those who summon him with building towers and walls that cannot be climbed over or broken down. Okay, wait, what does it say? Not only can he assist those who summon him with building towers and walls that cannot be climbed over or broken down, but also he can point out the structural weaknesses in other structures so that they may be broken down. All right. Inspiration. Colin de Plancy also mentions Malthus's gifts at finding capable workers and good familiars for those who summon him. Familiars are perhaps less useful in our everyday lives, but a strongly structured company requires a foundation of good workers. So we see that Malthus's skills at building are not only with wood and stone, but also with people. Divination. Focus on physical or metaphorical structure creating strong foundations, or finding weaknesses in seemingly indestructible barriers. Focus on metaphorical structure, creating strong foundations, or finding weaknesses in seemingly indestructible barriers. All right, and since it says here that he has 40 military units under his command, let's consult the angel numbers book for angel number 40. Angel number 40. What is angel number 40? Tell us here. Angel number 40. Reassurance. Reassurance. It's all going to be okay. The choices you've made, the places you are presently, and the direction you are going, in are all angel approved. Get a stamp. Angel approved. Your soul journey is happening as planned. Practice a grounding exercise today. Sit out in the sun and place your bare feet on the earth, or take a salt bath. Reassurance. It's all going to be okay. The choices you've made, the place you are presently, and the direction you are going in are all angel approved. Your soul journey is happening as planned. Practice a grounding exercise today. Sit out in the sun and place your bare feet on the earth, or take a salt bath. All right. Well, that's interesting. All right. That's what the angel number 40 says to us there. So, all right, let's go ahead and see who else the card brings us to study in this ology of the demons, the study of demons, the demonology, tempered and guarded by the 999 angels I have here with me, who we just read angel number 40. We're going to get familiar with some more angels the next time I do this, sometime later today. It's 1:28 in the morning, Eastern Daylight Time. And so today, when I go back to the Newport News, Barnes & Noble, they have an angel tarot deck with Michael and Gabriel and all those angels in there. And I think there's about 72 angels there. So that'll be very interesting. And I think what I read was they come from, I think it's Kabbalistic, but I forget exactly. I wonder if Metatron is there. That would be pretty cool to see. But they're all in the same ilk in this kind of thing here. Okay, so who do we have next? Buffonite or Buffonite or Buffonite. I don't know how you pronounce that. Apparently there's two frogs dancing with you. Let's see what this says here. It says, I'm going to call it Buffonite. That just sounds more fun. Okay, Buffonite or toadstone is a magical stone said to grow within the head of a live toad. The stone, harvested from a creature who was used as an ingredient in many poisons, was said to be a powerful antidote. Okay, well, the stone, harvested from a creature who was used as an ingredient in many poisons, was used or was said to be a powerful antidote. Interesting. All right. So, all right. See, that's not even a demon. It's a stone. So I'm going to call it's Buffonite. Right? It's not Buffonite. It's Buffonite. Because, a lot of stones have that "ite" at the end of the words, right? Like quartzite. And what other ones we know, right? Magnetite. Anyway, so it's a stone. All right. But that's interesting. That would be in this book. But I'm not surprised. All right. Let's go and see what it says. The annotation, inspiration, and divination for Buffonite. All right. Buffonite. Buffonite is another symbol of magic and power. See also brooms. But this one is far more legendary in nature. Buffonite, or toadstone, first mentioned in mythology around the time of Pliny the Elder, is a magical jewel that was said to grow inside toads and is a cure to all poisons, much like a bezoar found in the brain of a toad. Like bezoar, there is no scientific basis for the belief that buffonite was any sort of antidote, but jewelry was created from gems supposedly harvested from toads to ward against ills. Inspiration. Well, I'm going to inspire myself with a slug of coffee, which is putting me to sleep, actually. I don't know why I keep doing this. Thinking that somehow it's going to wake me up, and all it does is just put me right out like a box of wine does to many people, right? You can have your box of wine, I'll have my coffee. All right, inspiration for buffonite. Perhaps there is no scientific basis for claims that buffonite is an antidote, let alone that it existed at all. Many buffonite amulets were, in fact, fossilized fish heads. But as a metaphor, it is still quite powerful. Toads were often described as witches' familiars, and their skin was thought to be used in all manner of magical poisons. Yet, from inside the head of those toads, folklore also invented a cure. Divination. Focus on finding worth and beauty in circumstances or items that others may regard as ugly. Focus on finding worth and beauty in circumstances or items that others may regard as ugly. And since it doesn't say anything about the stone leading any legions of demons or military units, as some of them don't, it's on page 47, so we're going to consult angel number 47. Continuing to balance out these energies here, right? Because we've got demonology, so we're doing some angelology as well. 47. Angel number 47, procrastination. It says, get to work. Putting off what you have to do is not working. Your angels are giving you the fortitude to move through a task efficiently and without distraction. Several times throughout the day, repeat this mantra, I can do anything. Then get to work. Procrastination. This is the angel number 47 is talking about here. Get to work. Putting off what you have to do is not working. Your angels are giving you the fortitude to move through a task efficiently and without distraction. Several times throughout the day, repeat this mantra. I can do anything. Then get to work. All right. All right. Moving right along. We're going to shuffle the deck and see what creature we pull out here to study. You can see buffonite. It's just a stone. The stone of legend. Nothing to do with anything demonic at all. It's just a stone that they made up that says comes out of a frog's head and is the antidote to poison that were made by frogs or from frogs' parts and other creatures. All right, let's go. Whoa, King. All right, well, this one people may agree is either an angel or a demon. This is none other than good old Lucifer. Lucifer. All right, well, Lucifer is a fallen angel whose name is also that of the morning star, the planet Venus, which is also known as the bringer of dawn. He is a king of hell who appears as a beautiful child. I don't know if I'd call that child beautiful. Okay, but that's Lucifer, right? The morning star, the planet Venus, the bringer of dawn or the son of dawn, the king of hell who appears as a beautiful child. No legions of demons or anything talked about there, but we'll see what page it's on, and that will tell us what angel to bring into the fold here. All right, Lucifer. The other one, it's funny because today I drove down Leonard Street, which I had never before that I know of. And anyway, earlier yesterday I had found a demon that they call Leonard. What an innocuous name, right? Leonard. All right, Lucifer. Annotation. Lucifer is one of the most difficult demons to summarize, as there are hundreds of books, stories, and mythological references to that name. Some use the name Lucifer, Latin for the morning star, as the name of Satan before his fall from heaven, while others believe that Lucifer is a separate demon. In this text, we will focus on Colin de Plancy's description of the demon, not an alias for Satan, but as a demon who is the king in the eastern region of hell and is often mistaken for the devil. A king in the eastern region? Hell has apparently has a cardinal directions. All right. Inspiration. Colin de Plancy's Lucifer appears as a young boy with a pretty face. Even when angry, the demon never changes to a form that is anything but beautiful. The name Lucifer was often used or alleged in the rituals and sabbats of European witches. Lucifer was known to appear at some of these gatherings. In fact, a favorite childlike trick of the demon was to pull witches off their brooms while they were en route to the gatherings, but after giving them a playful fright, he would then carry them to the sabbat on his shoulders. Although Lucifer is sometimes mischievous, he is said to be very strict about justice in hell. All right. And the divination here is focus on finding sympathy and understanding for those with whom there is no agreement, even enemies. Focus on finding sympathy and understanding for those with whom there is no agreement, even enemies. All right. And he happens to be here on page 85, so we're going to consult Angel 85. Bring in Angel 85 into the room. Hello, Angel 85. I know you've always been here, but we're gonna get some answers about you, Angel 85. Just about 21 minutes left before I punch the clock out of here. All right, here we go. 85. Spiritual shift. You have a choice. The changes around you are inevitable. You have the choice to make them positive. Your angels ask you, as challenging as it may feel, to find one thing you can make better in your life in the midst of all of these shifts. Journal about how you can activate positive change. Journal about how you can activate positive change. All right. And now we're going to go on to the next. All right. Man, it's about time. I'm almost going to be done here. This coffee is putting me right out. I'm going to need to take a rest soon. Crazy. All right. Let's get a little shuffle going on here. Get a little shuffle here. And we'll see who comes up. Who comes up here, folks? What we're gonna get. Who are we going to study next? What who's coming up to the table here? All right, let's give that a little fan. All right, got them together. And we have, hold on. I wrote down the ones that I already pulled in the previous readings here. So I think I'm looking at proofless. I think I already pulled this guy card. I just gotta look in my notebook here and see if that is so. If that is so. Is it so? Hello and welcome. We're consulting some angels here. and doing a study on what some call demons. And I think, let me look at my book. Did I already get proofless here? Proofless? Let me see my list. Where's my list? Yep, already did. So we're going to pass on that. We're going to go straight to Zabos. Zabos. Now, Zabos, it's an interesting looking fellow. It's more man than anything else. But he's hanging out with some kind of caiman or a crocodile. Let's see what it says. See what it says here. And then we'll get to the annotation, inspiration, divination, and then see what angel we'll consult in regard here, what angel he's matched up with. All right, Zabos. Zabos, also Salios or Salos, is a count of hell in command of 30 military units. So we're going to go to angel number 30. He has a kind and peaceful nature, and he manifests in the form of an armed soldier riding a crocodile. A peaceful nature, yet he's dressed as a soldier, an armed soldier, and here he has a shield and a spear, riding a crocodile. All right. Well, let's see. Zabos. Zabos. What is Zabos's annotation, inspiration, and divination? Zabos. Zabos, also Salos, is an earl of hell. Wait, doesn't this card say count? Okay, I guess counts and earls might be similar. Is an earl of hell, according to Wyer's Pseudomonarchia Demonium. Wire makes no mention of any military units under Zabos's command, but later entries in the Goetia place his command at 30 legions. He, like Duke Agaris, see page 9, appears riding a crocodile. But unlike Agaris's gentle attire, Zabos manifests as a handsome and fully armored soldier wearing a crown. Inspiration. Wire has nothing to say about the nature of Zabos' skills or specialties, and Colin de Plancy only asserts that Zabos has a sweet personality and character. It is not until the Goetia that Zabos' area of expertise is recorded, and even then, no detail is given beyond this. Zabos causes people to fall deeply in love. It is worth noting that Agaris, the demon who rides the companion crocodile to Zabos's, is gifted at leading people where they need to be, and Zabos is dressed to protect and defend, and is gifted at causing people to fall in love once they've found each other. Perhaps that is all that needs to be said. And the divination says, focus on romance and comfort. I mean, come on, guys. Is this really that demonic? All right. Focus on romance and comfort, right? And he's 30 military units under his command, so 30 legions. So we're going to go ahead and look at angel number 30 and see what inspiration and divination angel 30 says to us, the frequency of angel 30. Angel 30, hello, and welcome to the room. Trilogy. Mind, body, and spirit grow stronger together. Your efforts to strengthen the bond between these parts of you are fortifying your connection with the divine and creating a brilliant reality. Nurture all parts of yourself today in a ritual of connection. Meditate and picture a brilliant white light running through you, creating links and pathways of communication between mind, body, and spirit. Once again, Angel 30 consults us with the trilogy. Mind, body, and spirit grow stronger together. Your efforts to strengthen the bond between these parts of you are fortifying your connection with the divine and creating a brilliant reality. Nurture all parts of yourself today in a ritual of connection. Meditate and picture a brilliant white light running through you, creating links and pathways of communication between mind, body, and spirit. All right. Okay. Moving on. All right. Gonna shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. It's just fun to shuffle. It's fun to shuffle as well as it gives a little break between that straight up just reading, right? And all right. This is, in fact, Hitman, Hitman, Hakeem in the morning, afternoon, and night. Presented for World Reading Club in association with Unique Equilibrium. And who do we have here? We have Bayrevra. 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 Okay, Bayrevra, what do we have here? Bayrevra is a very very loosely based on legends of Bhairava. That looks like Bhairava. He is described by Colin de Plancy as a demon with long and terrible nails, who holds a position of power among the demons of the air. All right. Now let's see what the annotation, the inspiration, and the divination say about this. I'm almost done this one. This coffee is really putting me right out, and so I'm gonna have to call it quits very soon. Thankfully, I've got just 13 minutes left. I think I can hold out. All right, let me take another sip of sleep-inducing coffee here. Oh, oh boy. All right, where did I put my? Oh, there we go. All right, baby, for the annotation. Oh, my table. Okay, Bayrevra. Bayrevra is entirely an invention of Colin de Plancy. Yeah, see, I mean, how could this possibly be a demon? This is completely fabricated by a guy. Migdalia, I hope it's okay if I read this. Say, thank you for the angel number insight. I myself see angel numbers everywhere. Thank you for the knowledge. Yes, you're welcome. And if you have any angel numbers that you've seen recently, you can go ahead and come on up and say hi, or just continue sending me messages in the back channel. I'll be glad to reference them for you. So again, this Bayrevra right here, it says Bayrevra is entirely an invention of Colin de Plancy, based very loosely on Bhairava, the manifestation of Shiva. See, Shiva, the manifestation of Shiva. So that's interesting, right? The manifestation of Shiva. Welcome to the room, Janelle. Hello. So, Shiva, Bhairava, Sanskrit for terrible, could really use a much longer entry than we have room for here. But in a nutshell, you can try and come up again there. I saw you up there and something happened. Maybe scroll out of the room and come back and then call in and see what happens there. So I did see you coming up, Migdalia. So scroll out, scroll back in, and hit that sleepy cat. All right. In a nutshell, he is a destructive manifestation of what is that? That even death fears. It is perhaps that terrible, destructive force that caused Colin de Plancy to write his own version, Bayrevra, who was a nightmare creation. Where the manifestation of Bhairava was a force for punishing one guilty of arrogance, Colin de Plancy focused only on destruction, terror, and blood in his description of Bayrevra. Common illustrations of Bhairava depict him as a powerful manifestation clad in tiger skins and ornamented with snakes. But the illustration that accompanies Colin de Plancy's entry on Bayrevra depicts him as a seated man cradling the head of his enemy. Yeah, that's crazy. Welcome,
Good
Migdalia.
evening. How are you?
Excellent. How you doing? So did I say your name correctly, Migdalia?
Yes, you have.
All right.
Yes.
So how goes it?
Yeah. So basically, not to stop you or cut you off, but yes, I do see angel numbers. I want to say every day. I want to say there are days that when I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll see 333, 444, or even 222.
Yep.
But this is like every day, or sometimes I will see 35, 35, or 47, 47, and it's like just repeatedly, and I'm just like, what is going on?
Oh
And
yeah.
then when I did my research, it means a lot because sometimes I'll watch my thoughts, or sometimes it's like talk about topics about things that I'm going through. And it's like I'm highly spiritual, such as everybody else in this collective, but I could feel such vibrations and such vibes and the energy. And then what I realized that I wasn't alone, it meant something to me. So I feel like with the things that you're talking about, such as like the oracles and the books, I think is very informative. And I want to say thank you so much for sharing this with
Sure.
us.
Oh, no problem. And I do agree. I've had several incidents recently, even
Hmm.
today, where the number 222 is one that constantly pops up. And 222 has become so prominent in my life that I'll just read it here again, because it's
Hmm.
amazing. When you see 222, it means that it means trust fall. Your angels ask you to trust your place in life right now. You are in the right place at the right time. Take a look around
Yeah,
you and enjoy the moment. Everything is where it's supposed to be. That's
yeah,
222. Trust.
that is so true. That is so
And
true. And also what I realized is balance, because if you calculate the numbers, 2 plus 2 plus 2 is equal 6.
yes,
6 talks about the balance, imbalance, just injustice, or such as that is concern or duality. I don't know if that's number 3 or not too as well. But when I be going through some things, and when I feel like things are not going in my favor, and then that does say that as well. But then again, it's like I realized that people would say, "Hey, like I see 2 to 2 a lot. Like I'm just feeling kind of off." And you are right. Like like just like trust the process. Don't judge or question why. Just trust it, because this too shall pass.
yes,
So I just be feeling that a lot. And also I always see this number a lot, which is insane. It's 444. It
yeah,
is ridiculously contagious. It's like I'm like,
yeah.
okay, like you're always here, but where are you when I need you?
I
But
totally
that's
agree
just
with it.
like the human side of me just saying that. But yet, like in the spiritual realm, I do feel the security and the comfort, and always to be let known that like I'm right where I need to be, because there is a time and a place, and there is salvation for people who are at the wrong place and at the wrong time, and then something sadly happens to them, or people around them. So yeah.
Now, I do know it's interesting that you say that. Welcome, David Beckmeyer. That you say that because today I was feeling pretty down emotionally. It happens sometimes. And I didn't talk to my girlfriend all day. She sent me a message at like 3:22 in the afternoon, and I didn't respond, didn't say anything until like 10 o'clock. And I said, "Hello, I hope you're not upset that I haven't been in touch with you all day, and I really hope that you had a good day. I haven't had a
Mhm.
good day, and I've been feeling really bad today. That's why I haven't been in touch with you, and I apologize for that." She says, "No worries. Are you okay?" And
Mhm.
one of the things that I said, rest assured, it's not something that texting or talking on the phone is going to really do justice. So just rest assured
Mhm.
that I'll be fine. And I said, just like everything else in life, this too shall pass. Um,
Absolutely,
thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so like, I think
So
that's really, I think that was really kind and like very transparent of you, because I feel like when you're going through some things, like like it is good to to basically to reassure someone, and just to touch base and say, hey, like I'm going through this, no hard feelings. I just need, I just
yeah.
been, needed some time alone, and that is 100%, respectable, honestly. So kudos to you, man.
But you know what else? So here's the thing. Um,
Hmm.
when I was sending her that message, I had just dropped off an Uber passenger, and as I was pulling out of their their complex, as I was turning, the only building that I could see in front of me was marked 222. So it said,
Oh my goodness, look at there. That's
yes, sir.
crazy.
So it was just telling me just to trust. It was like you're in the right place at the right time. You did the right thing. So everything is
Absolutely.
exactly where it's supposed to be. So.
Yes, yes, that's amazing. That is amazing.
And so, do you have
Wow.
any particular numbers? I mean, it could be any number. Like right now, it's 1:56 in the morning here
Hmm.
on the East Coast. Are there any numbers that may not be repeating or anything that you've seen popping up or that have stuck out to you? Or were,
I want to say it's either 55. No, no, that's not it. I want to say I don't see very often, which is 999.
uh,
Because people are really big on numbers, and you got some of the collective who views as, oh my god, that's danger. No, that means that like you are at the end of that cycle, and you are about to embark that new beginning, or something like as such
yeah,
as a relationship for me way back when, and I was fighting and I was holding on to the relationship because I mean I'm very loyal, and yet I like to stick with it. Like I like to stick through it. I like to fight for what I truly do love and believe in. But sometimes there are other wills and there are other ways that someone's life can go, and it's a protection and it's just a huge blessing in disguise. And those were the things that I hate facing. So when I seen those numbers, I know that I was going through a major transformation, such as my love life, my finances, my home, personal development, anything in regards to something like such as old belief systems, and learning how to go about other things. So
yeah,
I have not really seen that, but the only two numbers, the only two synchronicity numbers that I've seen that kind of stuck with me, but yet kind of is similar to 2999 is 911 or 555. And
yeah. Those, yeah,
I take it with a grain of salt, but yeah, I take it with such great pride, and I take it with such great, appreciation, because what's not meant for you is not meant to stay.
right.
And you need to change. Like and two, I'm such a fixed person. I don't like change. But yet like during the whole journey and after I reap the fruits of my labor, it feels beautiful, because that
Mm,
transformation is that like you're meant to grow, and growing is not, it doesn't feel good. It's very painful, and it's a harsh reality, and it's a crush to our egos. So when I have experienced these situations and see 555 or 911, I say, you know what? I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. But at the end of the day, I'll take ownership for whatever that I know that doesn't fit me well. If my ego has to basically be crushed about it, then so be it. I'm human enough, and I'm humble enough to allow it and to accept it, and have respect for whoever it is that who may be in my path.
yeah, there you go. Well, I'll give you some insight. 555, as you said, it means major change. And it says,
Hmm.
get your mindset right. Change can be seen as a negative thing, but with the right mindset and the right alignment to your goals, it's actually your angel's way of readjusting your life to fit your desires. Life will look different when you get what you want. And
Absolutely.
the 999 says fulfillment. Visualize what's next. The cycle of what you've been doing is reaching fulfillment. You're at the finish line of your goals, and it's time to start leveling up to visualize some new ones. What can you do to tie up loose ends? Explore this
Hmm.
question today. And then the 911 is a really nice one. If you've been seeing that, it simply means light worker.
Hmm.
You are being called upon. Your guides call upon you to use your spiritual development to inspire others. Seeing this number is a message that you possess the gifts of spirit to remind people that their higher power rests inside them. The time is
Hmm.
now to make changes in your life to changes in your life work so as to carry out this divine calling. Light worker 911.
Hmm. Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And it's true, we have all of that inside of us that we can tap into it if we really want to.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there's nothing that can be taken away from that at all. Not even the human thing. It's something that happens spiritually, and it's inevitable. And I show such great appreciation during the journey. At first, I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to go through this huge shift. And, and sometimes it's like I'm very sensitive. So I feel it in my body before anything else. It's like I'll feel the whole environment, like my heart will start beating a certain kind of way, or like I would get like lightheaded, dizziness, like tiredness or sluggish. And it's like I use that time to kind of like meditate and just be still and just quite like appreciate the shift. I don't know that
Yeah.
if you I don't know that like if you're like into like to like into the astrology and like the stars and the moon, but we just had like two eclipses, one on the 20th, I believe, and of April, and we had one on the 5th. And the 5th was the one in Scorpio. And
Mm,
Scorpio is about destruction, higher power, seekers, seeker society, or just knowledge as a whole, but just about mainly about power, transformation, and rebirth. And I just felt like the whole thing, and I always feel it like like the day later, and I'm just like, whoa, like this is really powerful. Like I've never experienced this before. And then I started seeing synchronicities like everywhere. I was like, oh my God, this is so it's been like a nonstop thing. And I've also seen 111 and 1111. And when I see those numbers, I'm like, okay, it's just reassuring me that basically I have stepped through the gateway or through new beginnings, such as
yeah.
any phases that I may be facing or going through. And it feels beautiful because it's like the journey is scary, but yet like it's like a movie. It's like the outcome is like it's like is like the hero has saved the day.
Yeah.
It's like I'm good now. So yeah, yeah, wow, like this is really powerful, like really informative.
Now, if you see the number 11, 11 is a call to pay attention. And 111 is also a very powerful one. I mean, I've got some pretty cool stories about those, but I'll spare that for another time. But 11
Mm-hmm.
is the awakening. When you see 11, especially double 11s, it says you are being called to attention. Your angels want to send you signs, but first they need to make sure you'll be paying attention. This number asks you to notice the world around you so you don't miss the important messages coming your way. Ask your angels for confirmation after you see this number. Repetition is their way of getting your attention. And
Mm,
the 111 is one that pops up a lot to me, and it's a screenshot. Pause and reset your thinking. When you see 111, think of the universe as taking a screenshot of your frame of mind right now. Everything
mm,
that is going on, all your thoughts, feelings, goals, and dreams is going to be replicated. Get on a
mm,
high vibe quickly so you can manifest your best life moving forward. And repeat the
mm-hmm.
mantra, I am in alignment with my authentic self. So that's the
Yeah.
111. Take that screenshot and say, I'm in alignment with my authentic self while getting yourself on a high vibration real quick. With you.
Yeah, that's wow. I wish I could kind of like I wish that like this app could kind of like you could show like pictures of poses, because on like my home screen, like I do see that number a lot, and I'm just like, and I always screenshot it a lot, which is so crazy. It's synchronicity too, because
Yeah,
I'm just like I screenshot them a lot, because you're right. Like when I see 111, that also does mean that like whatever you're thinking is materializing, whether if you're in a low vibration or high. Just basically just take note and just understanding that like those thoughts and any energies will be manifested, whether if it's good fruit or bad fruit. So
that's
yeah, I
right.
think that's really really interesting.
So those are, yep, the angel numbers. There's 999 of them. So there's a lot of numbers to see. There's a lot of them. What's interesting to me is that there's a lot of them that I don't see a lot. Um, but I'm beginning to tap in and pay attention more, especially if I'm feeling something significant emotionally. I'll look up at the clock or somewhere to see if there's a number somewhere, and so then I can reference it in the angel numbers book, because it's not just the repeating numbers. From 1 all the way through 99, you have a different perspective, a different message. So I've been paying attention to those lately a lot more.
Yeah, I think for me, let me look like at my screenshots. Can you hear me still?
Oh yes.
Okay, so let me look at my screenshots because I've known that like when I screenshotted these numbers, I knew exactly what they meant. Actually, a lot of them is 33444 444 111 123. Okay, so I want to say like right when I joined your live, it was at one. I'm sorry, it was at 12:34, which is 1234. Um, do you know what that really means? Because I hear like so many things, or before I even did my whole research about it, and I was kind of like being like really ego, just like oh, like I think I know what this mean, but in my thoughts and also within my vibration, I realized that it also could mean something about like you're basically taking like the steps to whatever type of goal or manifestation. So if you don't mind, can you tell me about that number,
Sure.
1234?
So there are three ways that we can interpret, or actually more than three ways. There are a lot of ways we can go, but I'll give you the first three. So 1 2 3 4, you have a 1 2 3, you have a 2 3 4, and then you also have a 1 5 4. And the reason is because when you have four numbers or more, you take the two in the middle and you add them together just like you would in numerology, because the angel numbers are part of the numerological canon. So the 2 3 in the middle, you'll make a 5. So first we'll go to 1 2 3, which is, like you said, it's like taking steps. So 1 2 3 is stepping stones, and it means you are on your way. You are on a distinct path and are well on your way to your goals. Little things matter. Pay attention to the details, as each choice you make presents a small part of the big picture. Visualize a path in front of you, leading you to your heart's desire. And so that's the 1 2 3, and then we'll go to 2 3 4, and 2 3 4 is similar, but it has a slightly different leaning on it. And so 2 3 4 you have here is words matter. Align your thoughts. As you travel along, see, travel along your soul's journey, your angels ask you to align your thoughts and words for support. How does what you say match up to what you want? Journal about a moment recently when you said something that opposed what you actually wanted. Right? And so get those thoughts and words lined up. And then the 1 5 4 also. So see, what's really interesting about that is that 1 2 3 is stepping stones. You're on your way. It talks about a distinct path. It says on your way, right? And then the 2 3 4 talks about aligning, and it says journey. And listen to 1 5 4. 1 54 says personal journey. Valuable lessons have been learned. The journey you have begun is a result of your choosing to learn valuable lessons from past mistakes. Your angels are proud of your personal journey of self-truth and personal responsibility. Write a list of what you have changed in your life since learning a valuable lesson.
Hmm. Okay.
And so a lot of the consultations, the in the angel numbers book talks about either journaling, making a vision board, and or repeating mantras. So those are all the counsels there. I mean, there's so many different ways we can do 1 2 3 4 as well. Of course, 1 2 3 4 is also a 10, which is a 1, which is also about journeys, which is starting, is creativity, and
Mm-hmm.
starting new things, leadership as well. Um, and so 1 2 3 4, the 10 is also the beginning and the ending. So it's all about cycles and traveling in your journey. So that 1 2 3 4 really is about when you're on your journey. If we combine 1 2 3 2 3 4 1 5 4 1 and 10, it's really a counsel to look at everything that's going on and take full responsibility by being aware in the present moment about what's going on your path, to get your thoughts, your words lined up with your thoughts, and
Oh
your
wow,
actions
111.
lined up with your words. What's that?
111. I just realized the clock just now.
For you it's 111. You must be in Central Time, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Like Central Time. So we have 111 and 211. So again, screenshot, right? So get
Yeah.
up on that high vibration and listen to the messages that you're getting, because we could also say, because everybody's going to experience it different. I have 211, you have 111. Someone right now is at 1211 and someone else is at 1111, right? So
Yeah.
all of those are telling us the same thing. It's first of all saying we have an 11, so pay attention, right? Pay attention
Hmm.
to the messages around you. And then we have a 10, and a 12. And so all of those things can be said to be walking on the path. The 12 is about support, meaning the angels
Hmm.
are in full support of you. So there are so many ways that we can look at that, as we go around all the numbers. If we look at the clocks as one part of that inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool. Sometimes like I've always like I don't know that if you ever like be on YouTube a lot, and it's like I remember this was I want to say like last year around August, and I was going through something really transformative, and yet it was I was very 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 distraught and discouraged, and yet like my trauma was basically being heightened at the time. And I heard spirit saying like, yeah, like this person's packing up their things and they're leaving.
Mm,
And I was like, what? Like, and because I am clairaudience and I'm also clairvoyant. So I see, I hear and feel a lot of things, or sometimes I'll see things like such as visions and feelings. And I'll be like, what does this mean? And I remember this person had was very not to knock this person or not to call this person names, but what I can say that this person lacks sovereignty. I don't know if you know
mm,
what that means, but this person had like that foundation that this person was setting up was so faulty,
mm,
and this person would ring for this tower that meant nothing, that there is no possible beautiful outcome out of that situation, because it's like you can never build on something instead of going underground to make sure that that the roots and the fruits wasn't poisonous, that at the roots wasn't weakened, because it doesn't stand for what I could say. To put it in better perspective is that, metaphorically speaking, is like when you plant something, and if you speak to this plant and you speak in negativity and you're this and a third, but yet you're building this thing up, but you're not going to make it grow, you're going to make it weaken. As tall as it may be, it's still going to fall, because the foundation, the roots of it, and as you as a person who has to basically be the emperor or the empress to ring over this tower or ring over this whole, I don't know if you're trying to get what I'm trying to say. So eventually it fell for this person. And not that I was so happy and joyous. Oh my God, like thank God, like, this person got in trouble or that, like, but I felt I was seen, because it's like everybody, not only myself, has seen this happen before even to taking place. So I seen 222. And I went to a spiritual advisor, and this person was like saying like, listen, that like this person is basically throwing a lot of vibrations at you, but on your spiritual team, if you're seeing 444, if you're seeing 333 and two, and I was seeing 22 a lot, I was seeing it everywhere, and I was like, what does this mean? So sometimes when I've been dealt with a lot of energy vampires or people who are very lower frequency people, I realized that they was trying to utilize my energy to manifest something within their lives, kind of like
Yeah.
to harvest my energy into their own. But that's clearly impossible, especially that like if you don't know what spirit or what type of or like you don't, I mean that like some people don't know that if God sticks with the other person, if your whole goal is to tear them down or et cetera, et cetera. And when that happened, it gave me huge relief, but yet it was so synchronicity. And it was like all of my manifestations were falling into place. It was like right before my very eyes. It was like my income taxes came. I got a new job. Like I felt more energized. I could eat a full course meal without gagging. Like I was
Mhm.
just like so nauseated because when I'm around someone who is very low vibration, I get so nauseous and I just feel so weak and I feel tired and I feel sluggish and I start shaking. So when that person left, it was like my whole energy just shifted. It was just like insanely crazy. It was just like it's like I don't know that if you ever experienced like a miracle before your very eyes, and then again it's like but it's easier to believe when it's happening right in front of you and to you in front of everybody else versus you just going through it alone. I
Yes.
don't know if that makes any sense, but
That makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. So that was like the most top tierest thing that I've ever experienced. I was like, oh my god, like this is like what will forever be recorded in record because I I was like, whoa, like it was like a huge miracle and it was like a huge weight lifted off of my shoulders.
That makes a lot of sense. And it shows that you're an empath and that you can pick up on the vibes and the energy of people around you sometimes. And sometimes, that can be a good thing, but it can also be disturbing because uh not everybody is following a path that's going to lead them to doing good things for themselves and for other people around them. So it can be it can be disturbing when that happens. And you just have to understand that you can transmute all energy of any kind, meaning you can turn it into something that's beneficial for you, even if the energy coming at you from that person, if they don't have good intention, you can turn bad intentions into good one, just like the alchemists of old would turn what they considered to be something not valuable or good, like lead, they call them base metals, into gold.
Mm. Wow, very informative.
All right.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, you have a lot of really great experiences to draw upon, and I think that the things that you're experiencing are powerful, and just got to keep on paying attention to how you can make them work for you.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. I truly do take it with such great pride and with like humbleness because not everything lasts forever or sometimes it could just be for a season
That's
or
right.
and so I've always taken it with a grain of salt but yet just take it with such appreciation because when great things happen to me and it's like I live a middle class life, not a higher class or lower class, and it's some things that I see around me or like if I want to manifest something I always take out the time to look around me and look at myself and appreciate what I do have. And if there's things that I know that doesn't serve me, I have to make room for more because in order for us to gain, we have to lose. So,
Sometimes that's true.
um,
Yeah.
so I always take things I have, and well, not always because I'm human. I maintain to basically to take heed and understand that take things with a grain of salt. However, just know where you stand and know know and understand where you come from and know where you're going
Yeah.
because the path that people may portray, or the media, or like people like society, or like, when you follow a lot of spiritual advisors on YouTube, and then again, it's like they're like saying, hey, this message is, for you. And then it's like when I go follow it, and I'm just like, no, my ego wants that. But I know when I reap the fruits of it, it may be too much for me to bear. Maybe it's because I am not responsible enough to take accountability for those responsibilities, such as, new job, or a new house, or a relationship. And maybe that you could just, or maybe that I wasn't just mentally and physically, or financially prepared.
Mm.
So yeah.
Well, I think that your awareness is above average, and that it's a really good thing that you are making the time to also build on that awareness by paying attention to these things and being humble enough to recognize that not only are you having these advantages by being able to see and be aware, but you're also knowing how to be, you're learning discernment. It seems like you're learning how to understand what things are for you and what are not by going by your intuition and your feeling.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback.
Now, there's uh, something about that where you can also need to know, like one of the main things to understand too is like in that movie A Knight's Tale, where he says you can change your stars. So really, no matter what's going on and no matter what the numbers say or anything like that, those are just
Mm-hmm.
laying out the path of least resistance, but that does not mean you always have to go along with everything. And because sometimes mistakes are made. So
That is true. That is true. Wow. Thank you. Wow. I never heard of that before. That is, and so I think that's kind of true based off on what I said. That's true. Wow. Thank you.
yeah, because sometimes you might perceive something, you might think that it's that a certain number or some message is for you, and it might not be. It could have to do
Mm,
with something else, because we're not as aware as we want to be. And so we might see a number or something like that that pops up, and we forget in the moment that we were thinking about someone or a specific situation, like something else that we were involved in or some other people. And then we see the number and we think it pertains to us, when it might actually be something that we need to share with somebody else. So not every message is for us all the time.
mm.
So you came into here when I was reading about this deity that comes from Hindu religion called Bhairava, and Bhairava doesn't have any legions of demons or military units under their command, but they are on page 41, and I wonder what that might have to say to us if we look at the angel
Okay.
number 41. Let's see, and then. Uh, 41 means wishes made. Hope is faith hope is faith that in divine timing you'll get what you need. Your angels want you to discard a specific timeline for the arrival of what you want. Wish for those things to come, but detach from how and when they do. Write down something you feel stressed about presently and bury the paper as a symbolic gesture that good things will grow in time. So we're just talking
Mm.
about that. See, that not everything's for you all the time. It says discard a specific timeline for the arrival of what you want, wish for those things to come, but detach for how and when they do. And it says write it down, write something you feel stressed about, and bury it. So, and bury the paper as a symbolic gesture that good things will grow in time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's very, very, very intriguing.
And I think, and I'm pretty sure that that's true from my experience, that good things do grow in time. Sometimes we can't rush or push things. I mean, you can try to push a river, but that's, as far as I know, nearly impossible.
Yeah, that's called what's that word that Alan Watts has said? It's called it's a Chinese way of doing things. It's called uh chi, or I forgot, but I know is that like allowing things to flow, because that's a part of nature. It's like when water falls, it's like we cannot hold it against it when it's I mean that like where it was coming from, but yet where it's going, just let it flow.
Right.
If that makes sense. I forgot the word. It's in Chinese.
I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of Chinese words. I speak Chinese, but I'm not sure what you're
Oh really? That's
referring
cool.
to. Yeah. And I know that
Yeah,
the word for water is shui, and there's feng shui, and and feng really literally means wind, and shui means water, so it's the wind and the water.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's called shui or something shui, and because Alan Watts, I like, because he's into like the moral, the Buddha, and like and the whole ancient Chinese way of doing things, such as like the mantras, and it was really informative that how he broke it down. But those are one of the things that I tend to kind of like that I used to preach about. But once I started to experience it, and me being living in the flesh versus like being like in the spirit, I was so judgmental. I was like, but why this and why that? Like
Mhm.
earlier today, I was like fussing and cursing about this old lady that who that I be involved with, such as like for business or like mentorship or whatever. And she had said some things that were like highly disrespectful. And I believe that after me looking up at it, and then me going off the live, and me listening to Alan Watts, and me meditating on it, it's like, you know, for me, I felt like I have to, as a person, hold myself accountable and watch my thoughts and my actions, and looking at things from a bigger perspective, and yet like also approach the situation. Because if you truly do care about the people who are in your lives, and if you take huge advantage about for the resources and opportunities, you want to go ahead and try to make things right, even though that when the person is wrong.
Mm.
So those are one of the things that I am slowly but surely am quite going through at this very moment. So yeah, I think that I will have to go ahead and like do more meditation on that, such as, like reevaluating these things and figuring out, you know, how my peace will look if I continue to let this situation prolong itself versus not doing anything at all, or versus just approaching it. So
Now I wonder, you say there's a situation with someone in your life that you're having some difficulty with,
yes,
and this is something that's a present situation.
yes, it is.
And um, now uh, how do you feel like, since it's a present situation, it's currently ongoing? Do you have any feeling or intuition about um, anything to do about it, or like you just said earlier, you need to meditate on it a little bit more?
Yeah. The reason why I say that is because when I'm knowing that I'm going through growing pains, like I know that I'm currently going through a transformation, and it's painful because I know that I'm putting in all the effort. I'm spending so much time, and my situation, as it is known from this mentor, knows about it. So I feel like what could truly come out of it, hopefully, is just for this person could just take ownership of it. And I know it sounds petty. It sounds like, girl, like, okay, you want this person to take ownership and then just move on. But at the same time, what I wish is just for this person is just to know their place and just show some respect. Because, and vice versa, if it was them versus me, it is not funny. It is not okay. It is not something that like you could look down on and say, oh, whatever, it is what it is, versus say, you know what, yeah, that was wrong. That was disrespectful. Like I would have to go ahead and take ownership of that. Let me redo things over. Versus you saying these things and it's like you're telling me I don't want to go left with this, but with the things that I'm currently hearing, it's like it's so messed up, but yet is relevant because this person had witnessed a lot of like a lot of disrespectful things that had happened or that had been like a smear campaign about me, and this person was rooting for me. But I remember I told her about the situation that I was going through, and she mentioned it in a conversation, and she made fun of it and laughed at it.
Hmm.
And I was gonna approach her about it, but my ego side was like, no, let her keep going, because like we're gonna like, because that like she is gonna bury herself,
Yeah.
metaphorically speaking. Is that
Right.
like when you go as low as digging yourself 6 feet under, how are you gonna get out of that?
Yeah.
You are not built for that. So for me, I'm just like, well, my ego, so I was saying, hey, give her enough rope to hang herself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, yes, no. But I'm just like, you know what? Just meditate on it. Because sometimes, good, is that like good deeds never go unpunished. So I feel like whether if I do express to this person or not, it's up to her to whether if she wants to continue or not, if that
Now
makes sense.
it does. Now, in this situation, would you like to? I can do a single card draw from the Black Tarot, which is an ancestral awakening, um, and just do a single card pull and see what advice, if any, it might give to the situation. Would you like to do that?
Sure. And also, this is not my actual name, it's my middle name, but my name is Anaya. So,
Anaya. Hello, Anaya.
yes.
So
Hmm.
just go ahead and meditate on the situation just for a moment and take a few
Hmm.
deep breaths as you do. And then we're going to do, I'll just do a single card draw from the Black Tarot, which is based on Black indigenous people of color. It's more ancient
Hmm.
wisdom, mainly based in Africa, African American. It's the same symbology in the tarot, but just a little bit reimagined. And then we'll take a look and see what it has here. So
Okay.
hold on, hold that thought, and we're going to see, and I'm going to pose to it what is the best course of action for you to take with that situation right now.
Hmm.
All right, let me know when you feel ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, and here we go. Going to do a single card draw for this one. All right,
Hmm.
and we have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of
Mm.
Wands. Let's see what that informs us about this here. It says burden and responsibility. Those are the traits. So the card description here says a woman walks with a baby on her back, bags in her hands, and a pile of collected sticks on her head. She bears a heavy load and has an overwhelming number of commitments and responsibilities. The card carries humanitarian energy on an individual, community, or collective level. Although giving is an act of love our world needs, be wary of giving too much of yourself. Don't allow getting caught up in the hustle and bustle to become an excuse to hide from the things you'd rather not address or process. The Ten of Wands reminds us to avoid becoming exploited in service to others. Whether the burden you are carrying is your own or others, it's essential to find a release. Ultimately, you must ensure that your cup is constantly being refilled and that what you give out to the world can be sourced from the overflow of the saucer. Your cup must always be full. You are not your achievements and successes. Take time to savor life. Remember, rest is also revolutionary. So now we have in yang, which is usually seen as a positive and organized, and yin is seen as a destructive and chaos. We're going to see what the yang traits. So this is if you get in alignment with what you're supposed to do in a situation, you'll have the
Mm-hmm.
end of economic struggle, bittersweet and liberating death, ending exploitation and abuse, release, self-care, taking time off. In yin, the problems you might have would be heading towards illness because of responsibilities, too much on your plate, having the impression you cannot do enough, being unbalanced, and no peace of mind or discrimination. But finally, the overall thing to keep in mind here for the situation is to spend time creating with people who inspire and uplift you. Spend
Mm.
time creating with people who inspire and uplift you.
Mm. Wow. Can I say something?
Yes, please.
I think that that applies for both ways, me and her. It's like
Yeah.
a parallel universe type of deal. Because it's like for me, but yet the words that you have said resources, responsibilities, and then go nominate, or is that like, for other community. This person does work for a certain organization community in a sense. And the way you broke it down to me, I have responsibilities, excuse me, I have responsibilities such as her.
Yeah.
So with me looking at it from a higher perspective, I see where that card explains and where or about like where it was coming from, because this person has expressed certain things that like she's going through, and and all of these things, and I was like, okay, wow, like that's quite deep or whatever the case is. So basically, probably not to like not to give her the benefit of the doubt, but it's at the same time I can understand where that shity behavior comes from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Because
Yes.
sometimes people do tend to say things that they don't mean. Because I remember when she said what she said, and she see my face, and like I have like people say that I got like piercing eyes, so
Mhm.
I just straight looked at her, but it was like as if I seen through her,
Yeah.
and I was like, and that's what made me say, okay, like don't say anything, because I had to rehearse about what I was gonna say throughout the whole day, and I was like, not really, because if you're wanting to check someone, you cannot bring up their personal issues. That like don't scoop their level to bring up their issues to explain why they choose to be a shit person because of what they're going through, what are their mishaps, what are their misfortunes or the burdens that they're going through, the responsibilities. But yeah, for me, I'm going through responsibilities. Sometimes for me, I lack the resources that were supposed to be given to me, because for women here, especially in the state of Alabama, which I'm not from here, but yeah, I stay here. And the economy is so distraught, especially for single women who have no children at all, who's never been married. It makes it hard enough for you to get the better resources to help
Yes.
you. So yet it does fall in both places, because at the end of the day, I always remember she says, like, I always see myself within you. And this is the reason why I always have to check on you, because you remind me so much of myself when I was younger. I was told from like my mentor mom to make sure I check on you, because she was like, there's something about you that I want you to grow from versus you to kind of like go through it alone. So, and yet like with me expressing to this person about the things I was going through, and when she said what she said and vented, but yet we're joking about it, I don't think that was funny at all. I thought it was highly disrespectful, because like the old me would have ran through her or would have told her about herself, versus say, you know what, just just listen and analyze her behavior and understand where it comes from.
Hmm.
So thank you so much. I appreciate it. That was really nice of you.
Of course, no problem. I mean, there's so much more deeper this we can go, but anytime you have anything on your mind, and I'm running around here doing one of these little adventures of mine, you're more than welcome
Yeah.
to share.
Absolutely. And you know what? I do have tarot cards and some oracles and some angel oracles as well. And I've seen this person's come up in my energy. And I remember I mentioned to her today after she dropped me off, I was like, yeah, like I always got my phone on do not disturb, which I do because my employer, she got us on these group chats. And sometimes I like when you're working with a group of people, there's always that one person who likes to stir up drama. So I like to turn my phone on to do not disturb mode because she always got something to say about me. So I'm like, okay, I just like it. So, and also it's nothing personal, but sometimes I like when you want extra space, I go hermit sometimes. I do it quite often, and it tends to get comfortable because it's like I feel more safer. But not only that, I get to do my own research about how do I go about the situation differently versus how I used to do it.
Yeah,
So and so I think that like she also took it in a way of like offensive in a sense, because at the end of the day, when people are going through something, you want to need your space, you want to not want to talk to someone. And there are times that when like she wants to talk to someone, she will call me or text me. It's like I am not in the mood. It's not in the mood to talk, and there's nothing offensive or bad. It's just I choose not to because I don't want to come off or in a certain behavior like what she said or did, and then do it to her, and then it's like she would get the dose of her own medicine. So I have to maintain my humility to make sure that if I was to approach someone or tell somebody something, it's not coming off nasty,
yeah,
rude. You're not receptive enough for or me to, or that like she could be receptive to receive that negative energy because it can be transferred, it cannot be destroyed, but it can be transmuted. So for
yeah,
me, I guess I am trying to alchemize it, to turn it to something greater versus to make it really nasty.
yes, absolutely.
So
It's a good perspective to have, that you want to be able to transmute something from uh, that's not so savory or desirable into something that's better. It's a good path to take.
absolutely,
Yeah, I
absolutely,
agree.
yeah,
And we have 11 people in the room, so pay attention to the signs. The angels, so they say in the angel book, want us to pay attention to the different messages that are coming to us. So make sure that as we close out and go our ways, that we're paying attention to the things that are happening around us and the feelings and thoughts and emotions that we have, and doing our best to transmute them into energies, thoughts, emotions that are going to best serve ourselves and everyone that we come in contact with.
absolutely. Wow, this is very powerful. Very
It
powerful.
is.
I didn't know. Actually, what's so funny? I contacted this psychic reader, and I think the universe is always listening. Like, thank you, universe, because I contacted this tarot card YouTuber, and it's like she will go based off like certain things that she feels, and she always hits it right on the nail. But it's collective, so she could be talking to anybody, because you can
Right.
never take one story and apply it to your own, which is never safe. So
Mm.
I just contacted her, and the price seems reasonable, but that was just like my main question, and I feel like the universe answered when I'm here with you. So I appreciate you too as well for doing that one single card spread, because it informs me about what I need to know, but yet understanding from both sides of the spectrum. So
Yes,
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. So now I thank the universe as well because it was for free and it was out of the kindness of my heart of understanding what should I do about the situation. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
of course. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So, I don't know. My app here froze, and for some time ago, so I don't
Mhm.
even see your screen. I don't know. On your screen, can you see your image?
Yes, I
Your.
can.
Oh, interesting. Because on both of my devices, I'm not seeing. All I'm seeing is an empty uh queue. That's interesting. Let me see. Huh. Strange. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Um. Yeah, I'm not able to see. You're not up here on my screen anymore. Like,
Really? That's
yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm seeing the empty circle. There's no. It, you're not there. I'm not seeing Migdalia. I'm just seeing the cat in an empty box. That's funny.
Oh wow. That's that's interesting. Kind of make me feel like I'm just like not here, but I'm here.
What? How much time do you have on your clock there? Because I don't see that.
I have 2 minutes and 44 seconds left. Yeah.
All right. Um. Do you have any other questions, comments, or parting thoughts?
Oh no, absolutely not. I feel like I came on here and listened and added some few points to the synchronicities and the numbers and the angels and the deities. So I appreciate it. Yeah, and thank you so much once again for the reading. I think that was divinely orchestrated. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for coming up and spending some time.
Absolutely.
All right. So that was Migdalia. And you said,
How do I get off or I can't or leave? I see. Okay, I had to
well,
leave.
yeah. And you said your name
Okay.
was Anaya.
Anaya, yes.
Right.
That's my first name, yes.
Okay. Well, it was very nice to meet you, Anaya.
Thank you so much, Hakeem. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best and hopefully you and your loved one could be able to come together and coexist on anything you guys got going on.
Oh yeah, we'll be fine. I'm glad that I'm able to kind of handle things gracefully and send her the message that I was able to, because and there's no problem between us. It's just that I was having a bad day and I didn't communicate with her until later, until I finally felt like I was able to approach her with better energy. So it's all good
That's awesome. Bless your heart. Thank you so much.
for sure. Well,
Alrighty.
be well, Anaya.
All right, you too.
All right, this was Angels and Forbidden Wisdom of the Infernal Dictionary, Demonology 3. This is the third installation that I've done of this. I went through these interesting creatures that were in these different compendiums. One of them is Wyer's Pseudomonarchia Demonium, and the other one is Colin de Plancy's Infernal Dictionnaire Infernal, the Infernal Dictionary. And I'm also referencing the Angel Numbers book by Mystic Mihaela, and the Demon Tarot comes from Ariana Osborne, and it's a really fascinating book because it basically brings some archaic history and some things about these these different beings that these folks that put together these demonology studies call demons when many of them are not. I mean, one of them here was a broom, and they entered it here because witches used the brooms to fly upon. Another one was this toadstone, and a stone can hardly be considered a demon as most people classify them as. And then, of course, just to be give some fair energy to anyone who would come across the room. I kept the angel numbers book by my side here to also reference the numbers of the angels as well. We have 11 people in the room, and as I'm closing this out, we have on my clock now we have 12. Who's that popped in here? Goodell. Hello, Goodell. Um, we I have 250. on my clock. And so I'm just going to see what that angel number is and then close out, because it's always good to end with a positive word or a paragraph. So here we go. Everyone, show regard. Make someone's day. The people in your life in need of appreciation are being pointed out by your angels. Demonstrate gratitude and love to them in words and gestures. Choose someone in your life today whom you can make feel special. Again, the people in your life in need of appreciation are being pointed out by your angels. Demonstrate gratitude and love to them in words and gestures. Choose someone, or two, or three, or whoever many you want to, in your life today whom you can make feel special. This is Hitman, Hitman, Hakeem, in the morning, afternoon, and night, because I never know when I'm going to pop up here and share. This is Angels and Forbidden Wisdom of the Infernal Dictionary, Demonology, Part 3, presented by yours truly, Hakeem Ali Bokus Alexander, here on Spreaker, Social Podcasting, and Wisdom, Social Audio, Inc., presented for World Reading Club in association with Uniquilibrium. Show someone your appreciation today. Until next time, stay well, folks.